What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action this morning in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Pemera, but better known as Pegasus Rush. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Ra. His name is Joe. The map is Savannah. And I've been wanting to watch this game because there's a lot of Zeus players out there, but there's not the best Zeus player. We haven't seen Pegasus Rush playing in quite a hot minute. He is unrusted from what it looks like. He's playing a couple of games, and I think a lot of people believe that of all of the Zeus players, Pegasus Rush is probably the strongest. He's got the Athena Rush down pat in a really, really big way. He knows how to abuse that. He knows all of the strategies involved with that. He knows that one better than anyone, in my opinion. On top of that, he's also got a really, really good understanding of the Greek versus Egyptian matchup, which is something that it seems when you get a really, really strong Athena Rush player and you get a really, really strong Greek player, a Greek versus Egyptian player, for some reason those styles don't mix very well, and they end up having some real big problems here. I think Pegasus Rush is one of those players who manages to make it work. I'm excited to see him play this one. Zeus versus Ra here. Joe, obviously, one of the best Egyptian players currently playing the game. Not a whole lot of players can stand up to Joe, so it's going to be a really, really interesting game to watch and see what these guys are going to come up with. Now, Joe does spawn in onto a map here with very, very exposed second gold mines. This is going to be a tough one for him to play, and the most important thing here for Pegasus Rush to identify is this fact. Now, luckily for Pegasus Rush, he's playing Zeus, and he has this incredible unit called the Katoskopos, which has got 5.5 speed, 14 line of sight, and can scout that out for him. And he's going to be searching around to try and gauge whether or not certain strategies are going to be viable for him here. So, given that we've got Omniscience, let me know right now what the best strategy possible here for Zeus is going to be and what the best strategy possible for Joe is going to be given this omniscience that we've got. Now, reminder to you, Joe here has scouted this. He knows exactly what he is going to be facing. He knows he's got a great gold mine in his main base with a great tower, a great forest here. Shouldn't have any complaints about this opening map, but he's going to have big complaints about the second gold mine. So, can Ra go for 2 town centers here? That's the first question. I'm interested to see if Joe is going to go 2 town centers or not in this matchup. Can he do it? Second thing is, should Pegasus Rush go for 2 town centers in this matchup, or should he be going for a 1 town center strategy? Now, experience tells me that a 2 town center strat here with this back town center having hero pressure on it to prevent any sort of 5-15 advances from Joe are going to be really, really good. But if he goes 2 town centers and Joe then goes 1 town center, Pegasus Rush isn't going to be able to take control of these gold mines like he might like, take advantage of the map as much as he might like. So it's a big conundrum here. It's a big conundrum as to what Pegasus Rush should be doing. Pegasus Rush does go through Athena. He's got the villagers in the forward position here, so it's looking like he wants to be aggressive. He's only got 5 villagers on wood, 6 villagers on gold, however. This indicates a town center for Pegasus Rush. So we'll see if that's the case or not, even with his villagers on the forward hunt there. Joe, on the other hand, he's going through Bast. So I think Joe has recognized exactly what I was talking about, in that those gold mines are going to be really, really tough for him. And he's trying to play around it by going Bast. Bast is a great strategy. But against Zeus, Zeus has got access to Bolt. So this makes this strategy a little bit less strong because you're going to get that Sphinx bolted. The Zeus has then got 2 heroes to deal with those Sphinx roaming around the map. What else can Joe do? A Heroic Age timing here. So he wants the Sphinx bolted. He should go for the Heroic Age in this situation. He's getting himself some wood here to get him the pickaxe and everything else as the villagers pulling back into the main base here. A lot of villagers here they get pulled off of this. I think Pegasus Rush was forward on his stuff. We see the Bast here, and we see the town center coming up. Pegasus Rush just going to pull back, defend himself. He's got the Minotaur on the front here. He's got the Bolt. He knows he's got a little bit more time on that front there, not needing to defend it with all too much. Armory coming down for Joe. So Joe is going for a timing attack. He's got the Rhino in his main base. I like the strategy. It's all going to come down to execution here for Joe because he is up against the 2 town center Zeus here. So he needs to get villager kills. So what's some answers for this strategy here for Pegasus Rush as the game goes along? Well, walls can come up here for Pegasus Rush to slow down the Sphinx raids and prevent any sort of attack on his own town centers. But the big problem here is, how is the gold of Pegasus Rush looking? He's got this one on the front here. He's got this one over here. It's really nice and separated. So any sort of lone attack here on one location from Joe can simply just get retreated away, and Pegasus Rush can move over to the other side. We see the Sphinx checking out this. He sees a gold mine over here, building another Sphinx over here, going to be searching around the map, getting all that scouting information in so that he can correctly identify where to attack. This is primarily the reason why a Bast timing attack for Ra is better than a Ptah timing attack for Ra, because you're not going to get that scouting information playing through Ptah that you would be able to get through Bast. But we'll see if Joe's going to be able to get this information in or not. As Pegasus Rush is now 2 town centers, farms coming up, villagers finishing up on the Gazelle in the center of the map here. Walls up on this position like we were talking about as well. We've got the stable coming in. We've got the archery range starting to make some units already upgrade-wise. He's got himself hand axe, pickaxe. No husbandry just yet. No watchtowers just yet. Not needing to get those straight away here in this matchup. Joe at the moment, no. He's gone up through Hathor, so he's not going for a scarab attack or anything like that. He sees the town centers are back here. He sees the gold mine over here. Unfortunately, he hasn't seen this gold mine just yet. So Pegasus Rush is going to get away with a little bit here. Though that being said, if Joe is counting gold mines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he knows there's got to be another gold mine somewhere on the map. He knows that it can't be in this specific position. It probably can't be here because there's a gold mine over here as well. So it probably has to be over here. If he's thinking about that or not, I don't know. But that should be what he is thinking about as the Cryo-Sphinx now moving around. Pegasus Rush still holding onto his bolt. Maybe going to be looking to use that onto a Petsukos instead here. As Joe going to be now starting to sneak forward. Wants to put his Migdol down onto this position here, I assume. Nope, in his main base. Still has enough gold in his gold mine here because he hasn't farmed. So this is going to be interesting. He will have full population here in terms of units out of that home gold mine. So everything is coming up Joe here as Pegasus Rush slowly starting to get his own units out, leaving the Toxotes back. Walls coming up over here. We've got the walls coming up with the villagers on this gold mine. This is another way to play around these sort of strategies. If Joe is just going to be winning on this sort of an attack really, really easily, one way to play around it as Pegasus Rush is to stop mining golds here at around about this, well, whenever you're putting villagers onto this gold mine, and just send villagers onto this gold mine in the early game, as we do see the Sphinx still causing some problems here for Pegasus Rush. Think about this a little bit like Centaur. Joe needs to be getting kills, and he's only starting to get kills at 8 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. So this is a lot of investment into these Sphinx that he's not really been able to slow Pegasus Rush down here just yet. But Joe now, he's going to be able to get his second gold mine. He's going to be okay here. He's got a timing attack inside of Eclipse, and he's got some potential kills with Locust. So it can still work here for Joe. Now, he has done this strategy before against Matrius, I believe. We watched that game, but he was ruined by Matrius's ceasefire in that situation, as the Sphinx pushing forward, going to get a little bit of damage there onto those Toxotes before training away from that Odysseus. A little bit scared of that one there. As Pegasus Rush now gets up his armory. He's still producing off of a handful of military buildings. His economy is incredibly tight right now, floating a little bit of food, but that's because he wants to go to the heroic age at some point. He's already got his farms up. We will be seeing the Sphinx trying to push in onto the bottom side of the map here. A potential Locust onto 6 villages. Not the best at the moment here. Pegasus Rush has spread out his villages very, very nicely in this game to defend himself as he's starting to push across the map here. Taking this fight against those cavalry, not the worst of fights here, especially with the Odysseus in position here to snipe down that Sphinx. Joe not paying attention on this one as he does lose the Sphinx. Not what he wants to do. He wants to be having every one of those Sphinx alive for an Eclipse timing as the Sphinx pushing in here, going to be losing another Sphinx here almost. But he does get away there as the Jason manages to defend that one there as another cavalry does fall. The Rock going to be retreating away. Joe now sitting at 90 population. Takes out the Hippocon there before retreating away, trying to finish off that Minotaur as Jason is still sitting there full HP. Joe making no effort to take that one out. Joe is now full cavalry here as maybe Pegasus Rush is going to be regretting not making any hoplites in this situation. But he's not to know. Joe can easily go into Chariot Archers at any point here. And there's still not been a rain from Joe in this situation. So he's still got a lot of resources coming into him, though he does have to invest in those without having Shadoof, so it's a little bit more expensive. But with Sacred Cats, which is an upgrade available uniquely to Bast, he's going to be able to actually get some of those resources back through the rain. And there's some math going in there, and it's actually not as bad of a situation as you might think. But Joe clicks that rain in an effort to stop a ceasefire there from Pegasus Rush, it seems. He's taken out these Toxotes on the retreat path here. Nice play here as the cavalry going to try and get some sort of a surround on the back end here. Pegasus Rush here in a little bit of struggle town as all of the Toxotes do end up going down there. Joe's gotten some incredibly good kills here at this point, but he's only gotten 4 farms worth of rain from this rain. Was that worth it or not is the big question. He's taken out an entire army of Pegasus Rush for free here as Pegasus Rush pulls back into the main base. We see the military academy coming up. The difference here as well is Pegasus Rush has gotten himself a 20 farm rain, 19 farm rain here from that rain that Joe's put down. So while Pegasus Rush has lost all of those units, he's basically gotten those resources back in spades from this rain. So what was taken is given back to him. And now Pegasus Rush can now move away from his Toxote army or Toxote Hippocon army into mass hoplites to try and deal with the mass cavalry which Joe has created here. This is going to be really, really interesting. Joe needs to adapt immediately to seeing this. He needs to stop making these cavalry, go into Chariot Archers, or go into Axemen here as soon as possible. But Town Center coming up here for Joe. He's going to start bashing onto this position. Knows there's a gold mine here. If he can take this bottom position here with a Migdol Stronghold, hit the Eclipse timing with those Sphinx on this spot, he might be able to find a victory here. If we take a look here, there's also Locust available with 15 villagers on that position, but Joe retreats away instead of trying to push in on that location. Apollo is on the way now as well for Pegasus Rush as the wall's going to be coming up. And Pegasus Rush knows he's got a timer to some degree here to ensure that he gets his town center up. But we'll see how things are going to go.
Into you.
We'll see how things are going to go here if he can just defend here, because Joe's now gotten himself the 2 town centers. Now, there is an underworld onto the back town center that Pegasus Rush can potentially grab to cause some sort of equilibrium here. And also, I wonder if Pegasus Rush is doing this. No, he's not. He does have access to Prodromus here, which are really, really good against mass cavalry. As the cavalry moving in here, Joe, he sees the gold mine, but still no Locust onto it. Searching around, he could Locust onto the farms here as well. As we see an underworld passage from Pegasus Rush onto this location, the village is going to be retreating away as Pegasus Rush is trying to find villagers to kill here on this spot. As he moves his cavalry over here, he sees the villagers. Locust has to come down here for Pegasus Rush. He drops, for Joe here, he drops the Locust, he drops the Eclipse. He doesn't have any myth units here. The myth units are moving in onto the main base over here as he's attacking Pegasus Rush here as well. Meanwhile, the Migdol Stronghold will be falling here as well as the cavalry all get taken out on this position. The Sphinx were not there to assist the attack. The hoplites taken out the gold mine. And guess what? Joe doesn't have access to any safe gold mine at the moment here in the slightest. Pegasus Rush lost a lot of villagers here. Villager differential at this moment is going to be very equal here. So Joe's caught up on villager count. He's got the 3 town centers. We'll see how things are going to go as the cavalry turn around to take this fight here, trying to take out the hoplites and everything else. We will be seeing that Rock attempting to tank a little bit of damage over here, but Pegasus Rush, he's got heavy hoplites at the moment, and Joe's got no upgrades. Pegasus Rush is in full flight right now. He can come over here and take this town center out with those hoplites as well. As Joe's retreating back, he did not get as much damage as he needed to. The walls are already kind of back up there for Pegasus Rush to help defend that gold mine. I wouldn't mind seeing Pegasus Rush trying to set up a Migdol or fortress or something here or here for the future. Coming very, very shortly. He's got a lot of gold and wood in the bank to start putting those fortresses down to defend himself. He's also got his restoration remaining here to boot, as the Migdol stronghold on this position is going to be able to get taken down, as well as Pegasus Rush retreating back over here. Does turn around, takes the fight. He does still have this bolt available, but still holding on to that, realizing he doesn't need to use it. Instead, he can save it for a potential Son of Osiris, dealing tons of damage onto that Son of Osiris there a little bit later if he so chooses, or even onto a potential Avenger that Joe might want to be building as well. As Pegasus Rush pushes back in onto this spot, we will be seeing the units retreating back. Joe here trying his best to do everything. We do see the cavalry trying to push through, but Pegasus Rush has defended there with those villages. As the cavalry going to be retreating away here. Wall's going to come up at some point as well there, I imagine, for Pegasus Rush. Does he have himself that next position? I mean, he doesn't need to right now because he's got this spot here, and he's putting military buildings on the back, and he's got a straight access to this position, and he's got that Mythic Age coming through. So he's in a good spot. He doesn't need to panic just yet. But where are the rest of his units is the big question, as he's kind of getting pushed around here by these cavalry, as there's not enough units just yet. But with the Manticore coming over here, Pegasus Rush retreats back. He can also get himself fortified town centers here at the moment. Joe does have fortified town centers coming in, though, actually. So normally 2 town center players should be able to get fortified town centers and have a little bit of an equal position, so to speak, with those units. As the villagers turn around, starting to shank away, as the cavalry are going to be retreating back. We do see some armories coming down for Pegasus Rush as well to immediately start going into those. As the units pushing in, there's that restoration. Can't keep his Odysseus alive like he would have liked to there. But with that Plenty Vault up, Colossus coming through, I imagine I would imagine a Bellerophon is coming in, but it's not coming in just yet. I'm sure Pegasus Rush will get that as soon as he possibly can. And that unit there for Zeus is so obscenely good against Ra, because Ra wants to be building like mass chariot archers. The only unit that really kills off a Bellerophon easily is going to be your cavalry. And with all those hoplites out, it's not going to be that easy. Do we see Pegasus Rush getting that? No, we still don't see a fortress up just yet. Armories are up all over the place here as Forge of Olympus finishes. And now Pegasus Rush's army is going to start becoming unkillable here in this game. Joe is sprawled out on the map, though, now. It looks like his full villages here. He's in full stride. He doesn't have himself his sacred cats, which I think might be one thing that Joe is missing here in a big way, because it's a big reason to go Bast here is that Sacred Cats, to get that extra little bit of food income and make up for the fact you don't have Shadoof. It's an investment in the future rather than in the present. And Joe hasn't grabbed that one. As we see now, Pegasus Rush getting that third town center here. We've got the units pushing back over here. A couple of a whole bunch of Toxotes are actually waiting in reserve here, as Joe needs to micro this one to kind of, he doesn't need to, he's going to win that fight very, very simply there, but he can micro that one to win on that fight there. As the villagers retreating back, cavalry getting taken out as well. As the Toxotes trying to push forward, Joe going to be retreating back there. But now the Colossus here has got free reign over Joe's base. Joe's clicked up through Osiris at the moment. He is still in this game, so to speak, but he's got a lot of catching up to do. Having focus on all the gold mines could be a way forward, because guess what? This gold mine's about to expire. This gold mine doesn't have a lot of gold left in it. This one's the one he needs to be preventing here. Some sort of Migdol stronghold down over there in advance could be a really, really good way to slow Pegasus Rush down in this game. But the Colossus takes out the Migdol stronghold. It can start going after houses as well, which is really, really frustrating to deal with as a Egyptian player, because they take so long to get put back up here. As the army sneaking over onto this position, looking to hit the gold of Joe here, as well as Joe is refusing to defend himself, going for these raids here. We do see Joe retreating off of that gold mine nice and early there. Nice play there, playing proactively rather than reactively to those sorts of possibilities. But he needs to pull them back onto the gold mine as fast as humanly possible here. Remember, Pegasus Rush still has got Bolt, so he doesn't kill off the Son of Osiris, but he basically kills off the Son of Osiris, because that's like half of its HP, and then generally speaking, you can only keep the Son of Osiris alive for so long against all the Toxotes that are out for Joe. As Pegasus Rush here starting to push forward, there is this fortified town center and Migdol stronghold about to get torn down. Villagers getting pushed around as well here by this army of Pegasus Rushes. The villagers still causing some problems over here. They're hitting the gold. Still a little bit of gold left over here. So Pegasus Rush has still got time here in this game as the Osiris does end up coming in for Joe. Joe casting the Son of Osiris over here. 546 HP. Does have itself Pierce armor upgrades. This does pierce damage. I'm pretty sure it does. Bolt does pierce damage, so it's not going to do quite 242 damage. So you do want to use it as fast as possible onto that Son of Osiris so that you get max amount of HP damage onto it. But we'll see if that's going to happen or not. Or alternatively, you wait and you try and bait the Son of Osiris in, get a whole bunch of damage done, and then click Bolt. As Joe's Townsend area is getting torn down. Where is Joe's units? He's got himself the resources, but those Colossus taking down and the Hoplites taking down those Migdol strongholds of Joe's really hurt him at this present moment. He's not able to have full population army out here to defend the Hoplites going after the town center. Now all of these axemen are getting off those Hoplites really nicely, but the town center falls here. Bolt has still not been used onto the Son of Osiris over here just yet. Hoplites coming over here. We see the Son of Osiris is coming through to help out. The villagers for Joe are going to be able to grab that town center back yet again here as the Son of Osiris deals some good damage against the Manticore over there. Those Manticore are not going to be that useful in this fight now. How much HP has the Son of Osiris got? Their bolt did come down, so it's down to 234 HP, and Joe's going to be taking good care of that one. I would like to hope here, as Pegasus Rush now hurting a little bit for economy. Upgrade-wise, he's got himself full iron here, so all he needs to do is get to full upgrades, and really, this Egyptian army is going to struggle mightily against Pegasus Rush's Zeus army moving forward here. We're still seeing those Colossus getting produced here as the Bellerophon moves in. It can dive in onto that Son of Osiris and basically one-hit it there with that 100 hack damage that comes from that special ability, but he decides to not run in for that one, not sacrifice it in that moment, retreating away, keeping that one alive. No rush to kill off the Son of Osiris at only 84 HP. Any sort of amount of upgrades coming through is not going to really matter that much here. One thing that Pegasus Rush could try and do is secure this corner here, get the walls up, and potentially even send some villagers forward to secure this one, because Joe hasn't put a single wall up in this game just yet. Apparently, Bolt does pierce, hack, and crush damage at the same time. So there you go. As Pegasus Rush is going to be trying to find where the Son of Osiris is, taking out the villagers there with that special attack. Doesn't manage to actually snipe it down, but with the Bellerophon moving at 6.0 speed, it's a very high priority unit that your opponent wants to focus down, which can dodge your Chariot Archer's fight. So it's really good. You need to have at least a cavalry out to snare the Bellerophon. And from there you can be very good, as we are seeing some cavalries coming in to cause a little bit of problems here for Pegasus Rush on that spot. Very smart moves where that's concerned, as we're still seeing the units pushing forward here, trying to take this fight. Some medium Hippocon are coming through here as the Bellerophon has got that Son of Osiris, not in its sights, but in a couple of seconds can go after that one yet again, as the Son of Osiris is going to be doing a lot of damage here, but Joe's taking good care of that one, garrisoning in and out of here. If Pegasus Rush wants to go for that jump, it's so obvious that it's going to happen. He does go for it, but Joe does pull into that one there as the Bellerophon simply just chasing around for the time being here. Meanwhile, on this position, the Manticore still not doing all too much, but the Colossus is coming in onto the town center on that position there. The trade route is starting up for both players here, I'm sure. Oh, no. We see a barracks in the corner, but no trade route started for Joe just yet. As the Manticores, Bellerophon, Colossus over on this spot here. The Pegasus Rush Bellerophon does manage to get one attack off there as he's continuing to dart in and out of the town center, trying his hardest to keep that one alive here in this position. 20 HP remaining on the Son of Osiris here, as the Son of Osiris does end up finally getting sniped down. There's nothing left here for Joe. He's still struggling for resources here. Pegasus Rush, on the other hand, tons and tons of wood in the bank. Wouldn't be a bad idea to pump down a whole bunch of military buildings with that wood and just flood the map at this point here. As the Migdol stronghold getting taken down here as well. Toxotes getting some good damage done here as the town center will end up falling. We've got the villagers trying to push up here as Joe struggling for gold. He does have this gold mine over there, but his villagers are not close to it. A couple of spearmen going to be attempting to hit some raids over here. Pegasus Rush without any walls on this trade route and gold mine. No fortresses down there. Probably a little bit of a misplay from him, but it doesn't matter that much here as a mummy going to come over here and attempt to take out the Colossus. But in that moment, Joe does say the game is done as Pegasus Rush manages to push through. The Hephaestus timing here from Pegasus Rush was everything. Joe picked off so many units. I think Joe made a couple of pretty key mistakes here, which probably would have kept him at least equal in this game. But the big key mistake was no farms for the rain. Potentially a locust onto Pegasus Rush's farms with his rain would have been a good idea as well. And then also no Sphinx on that Eclipse timing push to really get that damage done to level the playing field here. Those three things would have really helped Joe equalize or find an advantage in this game, but he couldn't quite make that work. Pegasus Rush too far in front with that Hephaestus. Manages to find the win here with the Zeus. If you guys like this game, enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.